Top focus at this hour. Large-scale rallies are taking place as we speak across Russia today. Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny's supporters are rallying to demand his release from prison. Russian authorities have issued a stern warning to those who wish to participate in the rallies. And the police has planned to restrict the movement in the heart of Moscow on the day of the protest. On your screens now are live visuals coming from Russia, from Moscow, where pro-Navalny rallies are underway currently. Remember, Alexei Navalny happens to be Vladimir Putin's staunch critic and the only opposition figure in Russia as of now. He enjoys immense popularity, especially after accusations were levied against the Russian administration for poisoning Alexei Navalny. These are live visuals coming in from Moscow in Russia, where pro-Navalny rallies are currently underway and mass protests are underway against his detention. Now, this comes after a number of Navalny's associates and journalists were put under detention earlier, and the police had set up barricades and conducted exercises in cities across Russia where these protests are currently taking place.
Если вдруг вы сотрудник ОМОНа или сотрудник полиции, и который сегодня работает или 23 января работал в сверхурочные, и которые не были оплачены, напишите нам, пожалуйста. Мы честно постараемся вам помочь.
These are once again live visuals coming from Russia, where protesters have taken to the streets to protest against the detention of Alexei Navalny, Russia's main opposition figure, as well as his associates. Now remember, Navalny's arrest on January 17 sparked nationwide unrest in Russia, and he was arrested shortly after he flew back from Germany for the first time after the poisoning attack. The police had since conducted a series of raids at apartments and offices of Navalny's family, associates, and even certain anti-corruption organizations under his name. Navalny's brother and top aides have been put currently under 2 months house arrest. And Russian authorities so far have refused to open a proper investigation into the poisoning accusations against Navalny. And on your screens now are live visuals where protesters are on the streets of Moscow in Russia protesting against the detention of Alexei Navalny.
And
these are visuals coming in from Siberia, where protesters are on the streets. And as we can see from the visuals, there is police presence as well. The police had earlier put up barricades to avoid any violence on the streets. But from what we can see from the visuals coming in is that these are largely peaceful protests so far. But the Interior Ministry in Russia did emphasize that the police would be deployed to ensure that law and order is maintained. Alexei Navalny enjoys huge popularity in Russia as of now, and he happens to be the only opposition to Russian President Vladimir Putin. In recent days, we've seen the Russian police and authorities crack down on all supporters of Alexei Navalny, as well as the top aides and associates of Navalny who work with him. His brother, as well as other top aides, currently are under 2 months of house arrest, and at the time of being detained, they were not even allowed access to a lawyer, something that really riled the supporters of Alexei Navalny. These are once again live visuals coming from Russia, from Siberia, where protests are underway. Protesters are demanding that Alexei Navalny be released from detention. In the last few days, we've seen mass protests underway across various Russian cities. And despite Russian authorities giving a warning to all supporters of Navalny to not take to the street, the supporters have said that they will continue their movement to ask for the release of their leader, that is Alexei Navalny, who is the main opposition as of now to Russian President Vladimir Putin. And these are live visuals on your screens right now from Siberia and Russia, where protests are underway and pro-Navalny rallies, in fact, are underway across different Russian cities. This rally comes despite the fact that Russian authorities had warned all protesters to not attend the Sunday protest, that is the protest taking place in the country today. And they had issued a strong warning against participating in any protest planned for Sunday. All these protests are calling for the release of the jailed opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who happens to be currently the Kremlin's biggest enemy. The police had earlier warned the protesters to not take to the streets, and these protesters are demanding the release of Navalny and his associates, as well as opposition journalists who have been detained as of now. Navalny was arrested on January 17th after flying back to Russia from Germany, where he had spent 5 months recovering from a nerve agent poisoning known as Novichok. And since then, his detention has sparked nationwide protests 1 week ago in about 100 cities, where nearly 4,000 people were reported arrested. And today, yet again, the protesters have taken to the streets.